Step 23, installing the electronic speed controller. Not really. We're doing a lot more than that. First, we are going to install the steering servo, get that attached to the chassis. We're going to install the switch and put that into the chassis. Then we're also going to install the speed controller, put that down with double-sided tape. And we're going to install the receiver, same thing, but as you'll notice in my videos, I'll be using Velcro, and I found some really good ones that I can use for this. Just because if you've got multiple cars but you don't want multiple radios, I want to be able to switch out that receiver. So that's the way that I do things. Now the interesting thing is it says cut double-sided tape into required sizes. Now in a lot of Tamiya kits, they'll actually have a diagram and it'll show you how, what size to cut. With this, they don't. So we're just basically going to figure out what size we want for this and put it in that way. So I think what we'll do first is let's install the servo. Okay, so let's get this attached. I've got the chassis here, and then this is going to sit just like that. And you can see that we're going to be attaching it down here from the underside. So I'll start here by getting one of the screws and one of the washers. And we'll turn that over. And we'll put that in there. And I'll screw that in. Now, I'm only screwing it in temporarily because I don't want to screw it all the way, because you can see the way this is done, there is some movement to allow that servo to slide back and forth. So I think first let's get the other one on now. And we'll find that hole. There we go. Get that in and screw it in. Now obviously this one is going to fit all the way, and I just want to make sure that the cable is out of the way and it's not pinching. It's not. You can see it down there either way. So I can finish screwing that in. So let's, I wonder if that, yeah, no, let's do that here. Make sure that's correct. All right, so we can actually screw this one in now. So there we go. There is our servo. So that is now attached. So now we can put in the switch that has to go in as well. So that one, and you can see the way that cable is, it's coming from that side. So if we grab our chassis, we're going to have that sit there just like that. And we're going to take our screw, and this time you can see we're going in from the top. So let's put that on there, put that in place, and there we go. So I can screw that in, and I'll just get the other side in first before I do any more. sure that that is correct. Yep. And you can feel when this is ready because it's just going to tighten it because you're going from hard plastic to hard plastic. So there we go. There is our switch in place. So as of right now, we've got our servo in place and we've got our switch. So now it's going to be a matter of going back to this and figuring out the placement for the speed controller and the receiver. So now we need to put the ESC down, and you can see it's being put down by double-sided tape. Now, depending on how you like to do things, I was looking at this and going, well, where do they want this? Because in terms of balance, is it going to be further back, in the middle? Maybe it doesn't even matter. But if you were to go a step ahead, you'll notice that the cable, they're saying use double-sided tape there, and then they're showing you putting the ESC further back, and you can see that it's almost pretty much where the back curve of the chassis is. So for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do more or less the same thing. There's the ESC. So if we look at it kind of at the back where it starts to turn on the chassis, I'm just going to put it as far back as possible, because the cable is long enough, and so I can make it look pretty much like what it's showing there, where this is pretty far back. So I'll do the same. So we'll put that down. I've already put the double-sided tape on the bottom, so I'm just going to stick it down, and I don't think I'll put it on camera. That it's going to be fairly simple. So I'll just do that, and then we'll do the receiver. Okay, so receiver is in place. I have it as far back. We're going to be taping that down in the next step. So now what's left is the receiver. And as I've shown you before, because I have multiple cars, I don't want multiple radios, there's no need. I don't use the double-sided tape. I have Velcro. And you can see that the aerial is going to go into this hole here at a later stage too, because I went to take a look. So that means I'm going to put this as far back as it can go, because we want to be able to reach this over and plug into the receiver as well. But I have these handy dandy Velcro pieces, and they're the correct size, which is awesome. So all I'm going to do here is pretty much put that in the middle right there. And then this is going to fit right there. So the receiver is in place and we're all set to go. So now step 23 is completely finished. So now we're going to move on to step 24, which is attaching the front suspension. And again, we're going to start taping down the loose cables.